Well, the doorbell never actually rang. Come on, delivery companies, make a little effort. Bring packages all the way up to the front door and ring the doorbell. How hard is that? Well, anyway, at least they send emails. And so I found the email and it showed that the package was delivered to the street, not to the door. But here it is, Robo Rally 30th Anniversary Edition by Avalon Hill, Renegade, and a game still by Richard Garfield. Thank you, Richard Garfield. Okay, so we have deluxe upgrades. And let's see what we've got. So in the 30th Anniversary Edition, we've got 4 double-sided game boards, deluxe components, dual layered player boards, wooden tokens, metal priority token, improved painted minis that plays up to 8 players. I've played in some Robo Rally games where we had a lot of players and it can take a long time for everyone just to get to the first flag. So I don't really recommend it at 8 players, but hey, might as well. Okay. It includes both Twitch and Trundlebot are making their return. Okay, Robo Rally has been creating chaotic fun for fans since its release in 1994, celebrating the 30th anniversary with this very special edition featuring deluxe components. Robo Rally is a competitive racing game full of robotic pandemonium. Program your robot to tag checkpoints, attach powerful upgrades, and turn this dreary old warehouse into a fabulous, fast, and frenzied fun factory. Okay, components. 8 pre-painted robot figures, 8 robot player mats, 4 double-sided factory game boards, 1 double-sided docking bay, 4 plastic checkpoint, actually no, make that 6 plastic checkpoint markers, 160 programming cards, that's 8 decks of 20 cards, 54 damage cards, 40 upgrade cards, 10 energy tracking cubes, 8 reboot tokens, 8 archive tokens, 8 checkpoint tracking tokens, 2 large player aid cards, 1 priority token, 1 sticker sheet, and 1 rule book for ages 12 and up, 2 to 8 players, 45 to 90 minutes. If you do 8 players and 6 checkpoints, there is no way you're getting done in 90 minutes unless those checkpoints are really close together. If you put them on multiple boards, you can be playing for a couple hours if you like, which would be a fun couple hours. Okay, let's see what we have inside. Vacuum sealed. This will go along with my 1994, 95, 2005, 2015, and 2023, and now we have the 2024 30th Anniversary Edition. 1 layer of foam to keep everything in place. Advertisement for the Master Builder, as well as the expansions, Wet and Wild, Chaos and Carnage, Thrills and Spills. So figure out what other things you need to order. One rule book, slightly bent. Okay, I'll have to give this a thorough read through to see if they're changing any rules. They are also also advertising the Transformers version of Robo Rally, which is one I don't have. One more docking bay, slightly damaged. Maybe that will come off. Yeah, a little tiny bit of glue on there. Maybe that will be able to be worked off without hurting it. Okay. The factory floor guides are now bigger. So we've got the double speed conveyor belts and single speed conveyor belts. We have the currents. We have the pushers, gears, crushers, lasers, flames, robots shooting each other, batteries, and checkpoints. And explanation of each of the round sequences. Okay, let's check out the new boards. Hopefully they are new. The first board we have is called Lynx. That is definitely a new board. I have not seen that one before. On the back of Lynx, we have the concentric. This one is called concentric. Slightly banged in the corner. Also banged in the corner. How hard is it to get these things to us without banging in the corners? It's just not right. This one is called Meeple. Okay. That is an old-fashioned spare parts place, which was used to replenish some of the option cards. Then on the back side of that one, we have straightaways. It has some oil slicks and some very long straightaways for the conveyor belts. It is hard to read the name of the board because they have gold writing on silver spots. So unless you tilt it and get the angle of the light exactly correct, it is very hard to see what the name of each board is. This board is called Falling, probably for falling into pits. It's got some flamethrowers. It's got some pits that only open on specific rounds, or specific registers, I should say. On the back side of Fallen, we have the double helix. So this one is the double helix. It's got some nice flamethrowers on there and some pushers. Okay, this one's got a little bit of everything. It is a little bit of everything, of course, is called the sampler, which is why it has a little bit of everything. Some triple lasers, some repulsor fields, flames, currents. Surprised they didn't throw on some radiation. Yeah. A randomizer. It's both a gear and a pusher on the same spot. Okay. At least they are brand new boards that are not duplicates of all of the other boards. Okay. One more piece of plastic to hold everything together. Interesting. So these are, instead of just flimsy pieces of paper. They are now cardboard with actual spots where you can put in your energy token and have it hold in place, and a spot for your checkpoint token so that that doesn't slide around, and spots for each of your registers. This is Trundlebot. Trundlebots are the toughest of the Robo Rally robots, and don't forget it. All this means, of course, is that they're just a bit more surprised when they're destroyed. Prone to grumpiness and isolation, Trundlebots blast everything in their way to avoid any unneeded interaction. Hulk X90. Okay, the large cannon on the front of the Hulk X90 points it in the direction of its next challenge. Its overall mission: intimidate, flatten, and move on. But Hulk X90 has to be careful and methodical in its movements, or it could easily flatten the factory machinery as it goes. Okay, we have Smashbot. Smashbot doesn't mind taking things a bit slow. It relishes the fact that every step it takes is a metal flattening stomp. It likes things that bounce back up once flattened, and it'll pause after it has smashed something to see if it is inclined to pop back up again. A proud robot, Smashbot often lingers over its work with a sinister smile. Okay, Zoombot. Okay, Zoombot, you would expect something with the name Zoombot to be a shoo-in for a rally win, but Zoombot is built so much for speed, it has a hard time thinking about anything else. With two giant wheels in its periphery, it looks straight ahead and goes, sometimes without seeing the wall or the lasers in its path. Twitch. Okay. Twitches know everything that could possibly go wrong in the factory, and that's a lot. While they're not exactly nervous, they do tend to get jumpy at lights, loud noises, sudden movement, and often nothing at all. Hopefully none of that will be happening during the upcoming race. Approach at your own risk. So that is Twitch. Spinbot. Okay, if Spinbot looks mean, it's because it is. Spinbot has to constantly spin to keep upright, and that's tiring work. Probably a bit dizzy too. Its saw-like shape doesn't help with its disposition, but it does make it pretty good at pushing fellow bots. Most of the time, the other robots just stay out of its way. It's a good strategy in Robo Rally. Stay out of the way of the other robots. And we have Hammerbot. Since the days when you could hit something to make it work, Hammerbot has thought that the solution to all problems is to give something a good smack. Sensitive and perceptive, it expresses itself with its giant eyes and a wave of that hammer. When it's happy, it'll tap out the tune and bop anything, living or inanimate. On the head as he goes by, it can't resist smashing any red buttons to bits. See, there we go for hammer. And the one that I always use, Twonky. Okay, Twonky is cute by robot standards, and this is perhaps its greatest defense. From every angle, it appears friendly and unassuming, But Twonky is the kind of robot who kicks you hard in the shins with its titanium feet, giggles in a high-pitched voice that makes your ears ring for days, then runs away at surprisingly high speed. And there's Twonky. So we have the stickers to go on the checkpoints. Okay. Instead of cardboard for the archive tokens, we now have wood tokens. Wood tokens. There's Spin's archive marker and all the other tokens. Instead of cardboard for the first player token, the priority player. Robo Rally 2024 Hasbro. This is now metal. That's some high quality stuff. There's the checkpoints. Take some time to put the stickers on the checkpoints. The energy cubes got a little bit smaller, probably so that they can fit in the little tiny areas. These are tiny cubes, but they are smaller than they needed to be to fit inside each of the little spots in here. You start off with 3 energy, and then it moves up and down depending on how much energy you have left. And the checkpoint token goes in here to basically show which checkpoints you have achieved. Okay, we have our upgrades and our damage. There are nice slippery new cards. There's 2 kinds of damage. One is a spam damage, so you can program this in your register in order to get it out of your hand. Or you have haywire damage, so if you get shot in that specific register, that'll go in there, and then you'll have a haywire card in that specific register spot on the next turn. Okay, let's just take a peek through here, move back 3, rotate, move 1, okay, U-turn, and install, pay energy to move further, rotate facing. Okay, so there are no new haywire cards. These are all exactly the same as they were in the 2023 edition. Okay. Then we have, there are 2 kinds of upgrades. The red ones are temporary for one-time use. So you will pay an energy to get an upgrade card to look at, and then you will pay whatever the cost is in the top corner in order to actually install it and actually have it available for use. The red ones are one-time use. Some of them say movement upgrade. They say movement upgrade. It can only be used before or after one of your registers, immediately before or after one of your registers. Okay, there are also yellow upgrade cards. Those are permanent. You can have 3 yellow and 3 red maximum at any one time. If you want a new one, you have to then discard one of the old ones. So let's take a peek through here to see if there's anything new. Boink is a good one. It's that one. It's a movement upgrade to move to an unoccupied adjacent space without changing facing, so that's very helpful. Crab legs. Crab legs, power slide, and drifting are three of my favorites. And let's see, that's the same. So yeah, here's drifting. That's whenever you resolve a rotate left card, you can then choose to move forward one space. There's flash drive is another good one. Flash drive gets you an extra card, so you can deal yourself 10 cards instead of just 9. Hover unit is good for avoiding falling into pits, or potentially jumping across to a different board that has a gap away from it. Laser kata shoots in all directions whenever you do a U-turn. Okay. Modular chassis, if somebody else has a really good card, you can install a modular chassis and try and steal it. One of the two different cards called overclocked. This one is the temporary one that allows you to have an extra move too, which is a really good thing. There's the power slide. It's like drifting, but the same as that, but you're do it on a move right or a turn right card. So whenever you turn right, you can choose to move forward one space. And railgun is for shooting through walls and other robots, but if there's multiple levels of a floor that are in the way, then it will not make it through additional floor levels. Okay. Recharge just costs you nothing and gets you 3 more energy. Can't say no to that. One of the cruelest cards is called Scrambler. If you shoot that, instead of firing your robot's main laser, you fire Scrambler. If you do, replace the target's next register with the top card from their programming deck. So basically, you can mess up somebody's program really good by using Scrambler. So I never buy that one because it's cruel. Okay. I do like to buy Spam Filter. After refilling your hand at the start of the programming phase, flip the top card of your programming deck face up. So you deal yourself your hand, you'll flip the next card face up. So if you have spam to use, you know what that spam is going to be replaced with. So it's a good way to get spam out of your hand. Okay. And there's also Zoop. So you can just face any direction you want. But all of these are exactly the same as the ones in Robo Rally 2023. So no new option cards. We do have a large stack of programming cards. And now, here's the exciting part. We have Twonky, nicely painted. These are in a tray, which I'll take this out of the way for the moment. The question is, how do you get things out of a tray without breaking anything? So that is Zoom. And Hammer. Smash. Trundle. Spin. Twitch. So I'm going to push from the bottom a little bit in order to get them out without hurting them. And then Hulk X90. So we went from pewter in the 1994 version to zinc robots that were fully assembled in the 1995 version. And then for the 2005 version, they had unpainted plastic ones, just basically gray with a little bit of shading on them. And then with the 2015, it was fully painted plastic and fully painted from there on. And that is the 30th anniversary edition of Robo Rally. And can't wait to lay it all out and play through all of the boards. Well, and I will have this available in the library at FlamingoCon. Our next FlamingoCon is going to be January 25th, 2025 in downtown West Palm Beach. Hopefully you can come out and join us. Go to flamingocon.org when it gets closer in order to pre-purchase the tickets. That will be FlamingoCon number 27. At FlamingoCon number 26 that we just had, we actually had a sellout, which means that we filled up the entire place, and we actually had to turn away somebody, unfortunately. And so we then had to find a new room in the building that we could open up, and then we were able to let people continue to come in. And so these things do sell out, so do buy your ticket in advance to guarantee that you make a spot for you to come in and play games from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., which is $15 is a very reasonable cost for a full day of entertainment. Hope to see you all in person there next time. Until then, be well.